The following is a presentation of The Day.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from Bill Mignall Field on the campus of Ledyard High School. The American tradition of Thanksgiving Day football is becoming even more exclusive to the Northeast and particularly New England. Drill it down even farther, our little area of Connecticut. And today they play for the Sword, the Fitch Falcons and the Ledyard Colonels, and all of the action is live on game day. Game Day is brought to you by Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. Every football fan knows that no star player wins alone. It takes a full team to produce a win, and that's how the team of attorneys at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates handled their cases. They were voted the best law firm by the readers of the day 6 years running. The attorneys at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates work together, fighting insurance companies for you and your family. You know, insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too with Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. When you need a winning legal team off the field, call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates. In New London and East Greenwich, why have one attorney when you can have a team? Casey O'Neill, along with the coach, Pasta Sanabria. Happy Thanksgiving, my brother. Now, before we launch into this game, I just want you to show the bling.
Oh, yeah.
Show the bling.
I got this last night. I'll tell you right now, Whaling City's program, the inaugural ring, and one of the best things I've ever received. A great effort that started off with a conversation, and Rel, you did a great job, and the whole team and the families that did awesome.
Now, Rel promised me one, because I got nothing right now, but I have one coming as well.
I got mine's Air Expressed.
So we are now officially into the Phillies What's on the Menu pregame show.
This is Phillies, and welcome to What's on the Menu. Pull up the Phillies and order a cheesesteak and get 10% off. All you got to do is say every day is game day. Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, we'll talk a lot about the playoffs. A lot happened last night across the state that affects the locals in particular. Easy enough, we'll focus on the big three games today, if you will. Starting at Waterford and East Lyme after Plainville inexplicably lost last night. Waterford is now win and in, meaning if they can beat East Lyme today on Thanksgiving in the Bay rivalry, they will get the 8th seed. Now they'll have to go to Killingly, but they'll get into the postseason. Here, we'll skip that first. At New London and NFA, as everyone knows, NFA is also win and in. And here, it appears both teams are pretty much in, but some things have to happen if one loses. So Ledyard is in. They are the 5. They can't go anywhere up. They're going to lock in no higher than the 5 with a win, which means they'd probably go to Jonathan Law. With a loss, they probably don't slide farther than 6, which means they would go to Nanawa. Fitch is the one with the most volatility. With a win, they can get as high as 5. With a loss, they could be out. Or they could go down to 8 if Griswold beats Valley. Valley is currently the 8 there. So if Griswold beats Valley, Fitch is in. But at the 8, they could be, and all the way to 5, they could be looking at trips to Wilton, Windsor, Bunnell. There's a lot of different play for them. But at the end of the day, Killingly is in, Ledyard is in, Waterford, Fitch, Griswold, all could be in. There's a lot going on for the locals, and it's always a pleasure on Thanksgiving Day. Here, Ledyard at 7-2, Fitch coming in with a record of 5-4, and the ironic thing is that a team like Griswold struggling to get in if they finish at 7-3, and here is Fitch with a likelihood of getting in at 5-5. The divisions obviously factor in a lot. Two teams very, very familiar with each other, playing for the Sword, a beautiful place as always here at Ledyard. Thanksgiving Day, always special. Just talk about Fitch and Ledyard and, you know, what we're going to see, what you think from these two teams.
You know, I've been blessed to be part of this game for about a decade with the Unicorn family, and, you know, one of the things that I really enjoyed was the preparation of a game like this is so much, because in some instances, if we didn't have a season that was going to go to the playoffs, this was the game. This was the bowl game. That's what people talk about with Thanksgiving, you know. But when you have playoff implications, and then they talk about you made it in, well, guess what? There's the sword. And I saw it polished the other day. Beautiful sword, a big plaque that I think a lot of players would like to hang up over their heads after today's games, and we'll see what happens from there.
So two things that were brought up to me recently, one from Mike Ellis and one from our own Peter Wappy, really kind of put into perspective for me the importance of Thanksgiving games. In that Mike Ellis pointed out, he almost changed my mind, because I had been saying get rid of Thanksgiving because the playoffs, I don't like they have to come back and play on Tuesday. But he said, you know, for a lot of these teams, it guarantees you a playoff game, in that your Thanksgiving Day game is your playoff game. You could be 0-9, but your Thanksgiving Day game is your opportunity to kind of play for a championship, whether it's the sword or the rail or the cup. It's something. And then Peter Wappy said the other night that, you know, and this is not something that's, you know, we've heard before, but he said, you know, unless you win a championship or don't make the playoffs, every team's season ends with a loss.
Yes.
So for the teams that are looking at the postseason, yeah, they're looking ahead. But for a team like say East Lyme, who knows that they're not making the postseason, that game today, they have a chance. We saw Montville do it the other night.
Yeah, the spoilers.
They have a chance to end on a win. Right. No other team. Most other teams like East Lyme could end on a win. Waterford, if they win today, ends up, you may have to end on a loss. So for the teams on today that are not making the postseason, this is their championship. It's a way to to end on the good side of things.
I like what Coach Tanner said. You know, you win a game like this, 365 days you're a winner, and that prepares the following season. You know, and that was really righteous what he meant, because again, you hold that value, and those youngsters that let those seniors go out with a win can go out and become the next product for the following season. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that's beautiful about that.
So when these two teams play, we talk about a lot of the star players, but we also talk about the little things, all of which factor in to who comes out on top. So let's take a look at the Rich's Auto Body keys to the game.
Here are the keys to the game. This is Rich's Auto Body's keys to the game.
Those three factors that are going to start off for Ledyard. This one is number one. This too shall pass. Ledyard may need to throw the ball. Yes, throw the ball more than a handful of times it normally does. And number two, the secondary issue. Fitch's quarterback, Porter Carter, has thrown the ball well this season. Ledyard's secondary has struggled. Ledyard's corners and safeties must see that ball and defend better than they have, and then grind it out. Okay, because Ledyard's best defense is their offense and the ability to keep the ball away from Fitch. Well, Fitch, remember New London, guys, you guys played a very clean game, and there was only one penalty, so we need another repeat of that. And then you can't, really deny that Cameron Lee Frey is among the best explosive receivers in the ECC this season. Get him the ball and, make Ledyard's inconsistent secondary get burnt. And then get off the field, okay? Don't get trampled by Ledyard's ground game. Make them go third and long and get them out the field.
Everyone wants their keys back fast, but you definitely want the job done right. Rich's Auto Body in New London, family owned and operated for 30 years, is the area's most trusted source for quality auto body work. Don't lose sleep over your auto body repairs. Rest easy knowing the job is in good hands with Rich's Auto Body.
Big news, Philly's new location across from the subbase is open. So get yourself over there, get the ECC's favorite cheesesteak. 2 locations, Norwich and Groton. Go over, tell them Game Day sent you, because Philly's is the best cheesesteak going, and you want to become part of the Philly's family, you can. They are hiring, as always. Philly's. And that brings us to the conclusion of the pregame show. The captains are heading out for the coin toss. And the coin toss, of course, brought to you by Dairy Queen. Locations in Groton, Taftville, and Pawcatuck. Dairy Queen is the place to go for fabulous food and sweet treats that can't be beat. Nice foot-long dog and a peanut butter parfait. What's better than that? When you need something satisfying, go to Dairy Queen.
Are they open?
Oh, yeah, we got to get some DQ. Now, speaking of Thanksgiving, I probably shouldn't have scheduled my blood work for Monday for my doctor's appointment on Thursday. I'm thinking I might have to make a change change that.
Might have to, because it's going to be up 200
But
plus.
Always conscious of your blood sugar. We always have a pecan pie, courtesy of the missus, and she made the pecan pie this year pasta style.
Yes.
No, it was not infused with spaghetti.
Oh.
It was the healthy-ish version with brown sugar, molasses, agave nectar, and egg whites, all in an effort to keep your blood sugar under control.
I can't say enough to thank her so much for the concern and the health, and to help these guys in the second half for not me revving up my voice and going over Casey's commentating. So guess what? Thank you so much, dear. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there.
Coin toss has gone. The teams have gathered. A couple of small notes before we get to the kickoff. Both teams are as healthy as they have been. Fitch has been without Devin Cook for pretty much the entire season, and he's done for the year. But of the roster of guys who have been playing, they are healthy. Ledyard getting healthier with Cal Cassavant back to 100%. The interesting thing is Ledyard's weakness on defense is their secondary.
Yeah.
Fitch can throw the ball.
Right.
Fitch's weakness might be the fact that they're going to play 11 in the box, daring Ledyard to throw the ball. So we may actually see more passes than we're used to seeing. Now we're going to step away here for a moment for our national anthem. When we come back, we'll have the NFA kickoff, and we will get ready to undergo here in the Battle of the Rail. Well, we're waiting for the Ledyard band to make its way out for the national anthem. So Pasta pointed out that I said it was the Battle of the Rail, but here's why. The original sword,
yes,
the Colonel Ledyard sword, was actually a railroad rail that they pounded down and turned into a sword. So
you know what?
It's
Coach
a rail
Migno,
sword.
Coach Migno will be proud of you when he, to tell that story. He would say, young man, I like that you did that because that's how we ran our defense, really strong like an iron rail. 4-4.
Battle of the Sword here at Ledyard at Bill McNaught Field. And now the Ledyard High School band will bring you the national anthem.
As we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Today's anthem being performed by the Ledyard Colonel Marching Band.
Eric, can you go close on one of the teams? Yeah. We got John.
1, 2, 3, 1, air!
Fabulous job from the Ledyard High School band, crowd filtering in. Now, I will say one difference between this year's Thanksgiving games and our era. There will end up being 1,000 people here, but I got here at 9 o'clock, and when we were playing at 9 o'clock, you couldn't get to the field an hour before the game. There would have been you would have been parking somewhere in Waterford to get to New London High School an hour before the game.
I remember at a young age coming from New York that one of the biggest days, you see it all packed. They would park all the way Michael Road and all the way down to Boulder Drive, and it would go all the way up to even the Burger Kings, and they just parked because that was a big thing. To me, this is a great atmosphere. I'm really emotional because it brought back memories of me being on the field. But man, what a great day.
Fitch will kick it off, and the kickoffs are brought to you by NFA. If you live in Eastern Connecticut, you belong at Norwich Free Academy. From college prep and career pipelines to arts, athletics, and tech programs, NFA offers more opportunities than any other high school in the region. Financial aid is available for those who qualify, so engage your future at NFA. Visit nfaschool.org. As always, touchdowns brought to you by Great Wolf Lodge, and defensive plays brought to you by Hyde Park Landscape. Fitch will kick off. Ledyard will have the first possession. The dangerous Jackson Favory back deep, and the kick is kicked away from Favory, bounces on the turf, and comes into the hands of Giovanni Velez. He'll take it up back over the 25-yard line to nearly the 30, and that's where the Ledyard Colonels will have their first possession. Get used to hearing the name Jackson Favory. You're going to hear it a lot today. Titus Streckvis, Cal Cassavant, the big three for Ledyard. The Fitch Falcons defensively are going to be poised to do something different. Mike Siricchio believes that they will try to put 11 in the box and get Ledyard off their spot. Ledyard disciplined on offense. Let's find out right away on the physical battle on the line what Fitch will try to do, what Ledyard will try to do. Favory. Snap goes opposite side. And Favory gets it up past the 35-yard line, so a nice gain of 6 on first down.
I'll tell you, even though it's a beautiful day out here, the wind and Ledyard always been a traditional factor. It's out there. It's going to be really cold, so these guys have to make sure they warm their engines up and play some physical football.
I should mention Ledyard's Jackson Grimm as well. He big-time blocker. He'll get his touches today as well. But if Favory's going to have success, Grimm will be one of the guys springing him. And, of course, Aiden Martinez-Garcia, the caller of the offense. Favory, there he goes, breaks a tackle and pushed out of bounds by Porter Carter, but he is a danger to break one every time, and Ledyard excited as they cross the 40-yard line.
This offense is designed to impact numbers upon areas that the numbers are low. So when you look at this defense, yes, it's a very balanced defense. He's trying to make sure he can attack the gaps. But when you have guys attacking the gap, but then you have an extra fullback there, an extra lead blocker there, remember, the quarterback is not really the picture here. You're going to have those extra guys going downfield and making those holes open for him to run. Great run play right there.
Keep your eye on number 4, Mark McBride of Fitch, because he's 10 yards off the line. The other 10 are inside. Yep. The more he creeps up, the more they dare Ledyard to put the ball in the air. Direct snap to Grimm. Not much there. Well defended by the Falcons. First one in was Alexander McConnell, and he makes the tackle for a short gain. Fitch right now is playing 10 up. McBride is still hedging a little bit, playing that safety position. As he creeps up, you'll see Ledyard starting to make the decision about whether they try to throw the football.
Yeah, they have 6 men on the line with 4 kind of stalking backers to rotate and fill those holes. We'll see how it works.
Second down. Grimm hands it off around the end to Cassavant. Cassavant shows some speed to the outside. Stiff arms McBride, and finally wrestled down at the 15-yard line. First down, Ledyard. They're in the red zone. Beautiful execution, and Cal Cassavant is back, but a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's one of the packages that they have is the misdirection. They'll look like they go one way and get the handoff to the backside.
Flag is a hold against Ledyard, and we talked about Fitch needing to play a clean game offensively. Ledyard needs to play a clean game offensively as well, because even though this offense is so dynamic and rips off big chunks of yards, when you're behind the chains like this, it does make it more challenging, because now, for example, on 2nd and 14, if Fitch can if Fitch holds them even to a 5-yard gain,
that's right,
it makes it 3rd and long. So
3rd and long is the win.
This is where Ledyard has to be very careful. Our own Mike DeMauro said the wind is more difficult heading to the concession stand end zone, so they would have wind here if they just put it up in the air. Snap, heading to the outside. Favory bumps it outside, crosses the 20 and wrestled down at the 15, right back to where they were. I believe the chains will move. First down, and Ledyard, just like that, back into the red zone again.
What patience to know that when the wall is developed, because those guys are blocking, he could seek the hole when it comes, and he just waited for that moment, broke to the outside, and made a great play. Hey, they got it back in one play, Casey. Amazing how that offense works.
Yeah, just like that. Grimm and Favory with Cassavant coming off that wing, and then Dorian Green on the other side touches it 2 or 3 times a game, but when he does, it's usually a big play. A lot to stop, even in this simplicity. Favory again, this time cuts it back inside, and a better job from the Fitch interior. They got some penetration to force him back inside.
And that's what you need to do. Those guys in the front 6 have to penetrate and get to the gap, what's called create a new line of scrimmage and cause that to be pushed back so that that mesh point could be having a problem, as well as, trying to finish off and tackling. That's
our guy Wayne Cowell, who intercepted that pass on the screen back earlier in the season, was the guy that shot in and made some penetration.
What a great kid, huh?
One thing about both of these teams, very small across both the offensive and defensive line. They rely on technique and getting, good leverage, kind of athletic off the ball, but not size driven. 2nd and 9. Ball hits the turf, picked up by Favory, and he's going to be wrestled down in the backfield for a loss. And it's, I'm at a loss of what to do with my lawn come late fall into the winter. Well, I call Hyde Park Landscape. They'll come out, give me an assessment, tell me how to make it through the winter.
Well, that was number 6 right there, Caden.
Nope, so 6 has a number change. It is Blue was 60.
Right.
So Gavin Blue is wearing 6. So that's Gavin Blue that came in and made that play.
That was a great job. He separated. He got actually double teamed and penetrated through and make the play right there. Good job.
So here's that 3rd and 10, which means Ledyard's got 2 downs to get 10 yards because you're not kicking the ball here. And Siricchio is a known push the throttle guy as a coach. Snap goes, Favory's going to run left. Good penetration from Blue. He grabs Favory in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss. And Ledyard, after getting into the red zone, going backwards. The Falcons, Coach Siricchio said the Falcons were going to, they're going to have a plan. And I think the plan is penetration and be aggressive. Now 4th and 14, ball marked at the 20. Ledyard's going to have to probably, you got to think this is a pass play. This is where Cassavant becomes dangerous as a dual threat.
Talk about the action of Blue right now. He is really energetic. The defense finally woke up and is playing some physical football here.
So 4th and 14 with the ball at the 20. Grimm, hands off, Favory, if he can break a tackle, he does! And what a cut by Jackson Favory! And on 4th and 14, Ledyard into the end zone. A great Wolf Lodge touchdown, and Favory surprising everybody. He had to make a cut, and he did, and he's into the end zone, and the Colonels strike first.
Someone had butter on their roll. The way he cut back, slipped right by there. But a great blocking mechanism on that play was to make sure they maintained and sealed it. And once he sealed it, he made that nice little cut on the outside guy. We always said there was going to be a 1-to-1 matchup, either a safety or a corner. And right there, Colonel's got it in.
So now you're going to see a little switch up here because Cassavant is their goal line guy. So now instead of Favory lining up in the backfield next to Grimm, it's Cassavant. Expect Cassavant. He's the 2-point specialist for the Colonels. There he goes, Cassavant. And pushing, gets a little help, and he is into the end zone for your 2-point conversion. 8-0 Ledyard. I can't wait to see how Favory buttered that roll with an epic cut here on 4th down.
Again, leverage is the key. They got the leading guard pulling. Well, he kicks out, just bounces to the outside, and there it is, that one matchup cut inside. Great run. He saw the alley, and he followed through.
That play is an excellent example of how Ledyard lost to Griswold this year, because the word that was given to me from Coach Siricchio was that Aiden Cutter, who was playing the McBride spot there at safety,
he was
he
phenomenal.
said he didn't miss a tackle the entire game.
Yeah.
So right there, it's a really tough spot for that safety.
Yeah.
The back is moving full speed and can go in any direction.
Yep.
McBride got a hand on him but couldn't get the tackle. He said that night when Griswold shut this team out, if you can imagine shutting this team out, he said Aiden Cutter made every tackle. He didn't miss one. So I think you see there how there's going to be a lot of one-on-one matchups, and Ledyard feels like Favory has the advantage in all of those one-on-ones.
Now, I love the offensive system. You know, we always say it's kind of simple. It's kind of like Pop Warner, but it's so effective. You know, the great Coach Brackett was telling us what makes it really difficult is that when you have all these blocking, all of a sudden there, boom, comes a running back with the ball. You might not be prepared to tackle. So that's another factor in that offense that makes it very deceptive.
And NFA kickoff coming your way. Dorian Green will kick it off for the Colonels. It's a little squib kick, and it's taken inbounds and falling to the turf is Cameron Lee Fry and Fitch. And their explosive offense will now take the field. Porter Carter thrown into the quarterback position in the preseason after an injury.
Yeah.
They lost Devin Cook, which put the bus, Sean Bussey, into the backfield in that big fullback role. And it moved Cameron Lee Fry, Anthony Spader, Mark McBride, moved them into those prominent wing roles. And down 8-0, it's imperative that the Falcons have a good drive here, keep it clean, and move the football. Carter will be your quarterback. Bussey's the fullback behind him. Motion across McBride. Inside trap goes to Spader. Spader is in the open. It's a foot race. And he gone! One play, one score. Anthony Spader into the end zone. Falcons not only answer, they throw down the sword and say, we are here to play. It's 8-6 with a 2-point conversion coming up.
What a silence play, a quick kind of kick-out counter look, and it just took off. I mean, the safeties were just seeing him run by. Unbelievable speed, finishing it off at the end. This is going to be a game today.
So the Falcons will go for two. Same formation that we just saw. Carter gonna roll left, looking to throw, throws, and has Spader. So Spader with a touchdown, catches the 2-point conversion, and in one of the quickest 8 points we've seen all year, the Falcons tie it up. Let's look at the play that launched Spader.
Okay, so we see that the formation is just the option formation, and he did a fake dive, and there's a little loop handoff, and is in the straightaway, stays right on the line, takes off. Unbelievable, what a fast play. And I'll tell you, the fans were ripping and roaring when Ledyard scored, and then all of a sudden, silence.
I'm going to give a big shout out, though, to the Ledyard musical selection. After they scored, we got the Rocky Hearts on Fire montage from Rocky 4. And Ledyard just gave up a touchdown, and the March of the Empire from Star Wars was played after Fitch scored.
That was one of my favorite phone ringers that I had in my phone back in the day with the Blackberries. Remember the Blackberries? You flip them up. Felt like John T. Kirk. Yep. Who's calling me?
I do. One thing that I do love, and Peter and I have talked about this. I love a good band. When you get a good band at a game, it adds to the entertainment. And Ledyard takes it very seriously. Like, they're gonna play music that fits the moment. And that was after the touchdown from Fitch. The moment felt a lot like Darth Vader entering the ship. So we'll have a kickoff here for the Falcons. Justin Jimenez will kick it off. This is a little interesting formation here for the Colonels. They're going to go muddle kickoff.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you never know, especially Thanksgiving. It's always a lot of opportunities for trick plays. So they have pre-planned to have something prepared for that.
Jimenez will kick. Last time they avoided Favory. This time they kick it straight, and it's taken again by Velez. Velez gets to the 25, breaks a tackle, crosses the 30 to the 32-yard line. Now, I can appreciate Velez I would, had I been Velez, turned and pitched it directly back to Favory and said, I'll block for you, my man.
I'll block. And that might happen. I mean, I've seen it happen before where they try to kick it away from our special teams players and then, just go and give them the ball and let them go.
I watched, I think, Paul Winston turn one time and pitch it like 9 yards back to Jamal because he was like, only because I think he was more afraid that Jamal would come up and kick him in the backside. He's like, Jamal felt like every play. I told him he's the worst option quarterback in history because he never pitched it.
Never pitched it.
He's like, wait, he's like, I'm always the best option.
Yeah.
Colonels with their second possession. A little mistake, ball on the turf. We're going to get a penalty against Ledyard for an illegal shift because 2 men were moving. Cassavant fell on the football, and so I believe they'll decline this.
Yeah, that's a big loss right there, and that'll put them in a situation that Fitch wants to have.
So right now, Ledyard does everything right. Overcomes the penalty, overcomes a couple of losses, scores the touchdown, then gets punched right in the mouth, giving up the touchdown, and then uncharacteristically, they make the mistake, right, and get themselves out of whack here, and now have it 2nd and 18. Favory cuts it back inside and running to the football. The Falcons get there very quickly. Not much of a gain. Coming in to clean it up was McBride.
No gain on the play.
No gain. It'll bring 3rd and 18. And I think we're seeing the Falcons are going to take chances. They're going to send their guys.
Right.
And we're going to see a pass over the top here at some point because Fitch is doing what Coach Siricchio thought they were going to do, which is gamble now. They're sending everybody into the gaps, trying to make it penetration.
Both teams, everybody's inside 10 yards. It's really tight.
This is like old 1950s football.
Call it matchbox.
Fitch might have jumped, and they did. We're going to get
There's a flag on the play.
a whistle and an offsides, and that will help Ledyard immensely. That's 5 yards, 3rd and 11 versus 3rd and 16. Now, if you think, if Fitch holds, Ledyard will punt. I'd like to remind you that against Woodstock Academy, Ledyard went for it on 4th and 3 from their own 8-yard line.
Yeah. This past couple of years, we've been seeing a lot of teams go 4th down. We even had a write-up where punting wasn't even allowed in some teams because they like to go off of 4th down. The ratios are there. But with this program, I don't know. They've survived a lot, luckily, with that running game.
So I said, you went for it from your own 8-yard line?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, that was probably stupid. Direct snap again this time. Streckfus tried to reverse his field, couldn't do so. Wrestled to the ground and brought down for a loss. Porter Carter was the first person there. It's going to bring up 4th and 13, and I believe we will see a Colonel punt as Carter got into the backfield for a Hyde Park landscape cleanup.
That's right. He cut the grass and trimmed it down, and in that situation, what I loved about it was that Fitch stayed in their gaps. They didn't overflow, and there was no cutback ability there, and that's why they have this good series right here against the Colonels.
Diego Rosario Gonzalez to kick it away.
Well said,
for the high snap. Gets it off. Line drive kick taken by McBride at his 40. McBride waiting for the blockers to set up and gets it to the 47-yard line where he's wrestled down by by Cassavant, and it'll be the second possession for the Falcons after they held up defensively, and now the Ledyard defense has to see if they can do the same.
Brother, I have a question. I know we talked about that the passing game for both teams would be probably right under 10. Does the 2-point conversion count? I mean, because
nope, no, it does not.
Okay, cool. So it's still 0-0.
It is still 0-0.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure because those push-ups.
Now, what I had said was that the over/under for Ledyard passes is 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
And I asked Mike DeMoro, would there be more touchdowns in the game than completed passes, and he said yes. So I think we're on pace for that right now, 2-0. Different formation for the Falcons. Ball goes on the turf. We're going to get a whistle. That's probably going to be, I'm going to guess that's against the offense, but they're going to say that no. In fact, Ledyard lined up in the neutral zone there, so we're going to get an offsides penalty against the Colonels. That'll give 5 to Fitch the easy way and bring up a 1st and 5 And the Falcons in a different formation that time. Looked like they were gonna try to do something a little different. I think you're gonna see like you said, every wrinkle in the book today from the Falcons.
Yeah, I saw that when they motioned to trips. We saw that before. That was gonna isolate the one-on-one. So let's be careful for that one. There's the isolation on the bottom.
Blue comes across the formation, sets up now at tight end on the left side. Carter hands it to McBride. McBride looking for a block on the edge. He gets it and tiptoes down the sidelines for a first down. Good agility there from Mark McBride, and the sideline was the only thing stopping a touchdown.
It's a great job. For the families out there, that's a trade formation. When a tight end's on line up on one side, he trades to the other, creates an unbalanced issue right there, and that's how they had the edge to run that play.
So the chains will move. Ball will be marked right on the Ledyard 40-yard line. Clock stopped at 3:51 here in the first on this beautiful Thanksgiving day. This is the kind of weather you want on Thanksgiving. It's crisp, but it's not freezing. Nice sunny day. Perfect day for football. Motion across McBride. Carter's going to keep it himself. Carter tries to get outside of Cassavant, but he can't. Cool Cal Cassavant gets into the backfield and cleans it up like only Hyde Park can. That's a Hyde Park cleanup.
Great job by staying uncontained. We said one hand on the chest plate, keeping his outside hand free, making sure he can get off that block and make that tackle. Good textbook formation right there. Great job for the Colonels.
Both teams selling out on defense, so I think you're going to see a lot of big plays and plays for losses.
Right.
It's really, that's why the defense is selling out, which means tackles for losses are at a premium, but if you miss a tackle, gone, right? So this is a high leverage situation, and the Falcons get Ledyard to jump off sides. They're going to get that penalty yardage back, or excuse me, the loss back, so it's going to go from 2nd and 15 back to 2nd and 10.
You know what I miss? I mean, I remember when Jimmy would be making the calls, he would yell at me to say, keep the eye on the line, and I would be yelling, watch the ball! I had the voice for him. And there's got to be a coach out there reminding those players that.
Carter gives to Bussey, and the big bus gets 5 on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd and, I'm going to say 4, so 3rd and 6 for the Falcons.
I'll tell you, they need to dish it to Bussey a lot more because that young man is a good yak runner. He gets hit, he still pushes the line. A great physical running back right there that's helped out this program.
So you watch the ball is a famous one, right?
Yep.
Your linemen get so wrapped up in listening and watching the hands, the eyes, everything but the ball. The play can't start till the ball moves. I always thought the nose had an advantage. The ball's right there in front of him.
Most of the time when the nose met offside, the coach pulled him right on out.
Like, the ball's right in front of you. Handoff inside and pushing forward. Short gain. It's going to bring up 4th and, I was going to call it 2. Bussey on the carry again.
Very close. They're going to go for it right now. This is a game that I think these coaches are not going to play strategy. They're just going to go at it.
Remember back in the day when I was listening to the New London sidelines with Kent Reyes and Tommy Major, and of course the great Gil Vargas. And on a play like this, they'd say, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the ball. I'm like, I can't, how many things am I watching, Coach?
Well, I'll tell you something about that. That's really a factor. It's awesome.
Carter going to keep it himself. Tries to get inside, and he's going to need a push. And I don't think he's going to get it right to the 30-yard line. It's going to be about the spot, and it looks like he's short by about half a yard. He is, and just like the Falcons' defense held up, the Ledyard defense holds up, and we're tied at 8, and the Colonels will take over on downs.
Well, Casey, when you talk about coaches on the sideline playing calls, actually some calls go to specific team members. So when you say watch the screen, the DNs have to be alert on that. Watch the draw, you got to get the linebackers to be alert on that. So sometimes yelling all these plays out actually goes to specific players.
Except for those novices like us are like, how many different things am I watching?
What a great game so far.
And then I'll tell you one from Ansonia, which was really funny as well. First down, Ledyard. Direct snap this time goes to Grimm. Grimm goes off left tackle, gains maybe a yard. I thought I heard Ansonia, they were yelling, watch the ball. I thought they were yelling, watch Jamal.
Watch Jamal, right?
And they were yelling, watch the ball. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, of course they're going to watch Jamal. He's the best player on the field. No, they were yelling, watch the ball.
I'll tell you, those times there were amazing how our coaches, like I said, I've got a lot of who I am from all those coaches in my life that have been there. When you mentioned Coach Ken Reyes and Tommy Majors, I'm very happy to be part of that kind of vocal category.
Admission read instead of a break at the end of the quarter.
Second down. Snap goes to Favory. Has a blocker. And nice open field tackle made by Cameron Lee Fry in cooperation with Frank Campagna.
Yep.
And they sandwich Favory for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yep.
Clock ticking in almost to the end of the first quarter. We'll see if Ledyard wants to try to go for it on 3rd and 2 or if they're going to let the quarter run out. Looks like they're going to let the quarter run out. So we are at the end of one quarter. The score tied 8-8. Let me talk to you a little bit about the road to college, all right? Because everybody out there watching right now, the road to college is scary.
Yes,
I did it myself. I did it as a parent for both students and their loved ones. But mission to admission, all right, mission to admission, college consulting. It's your one-stop shop to alleviate all those fears and help your student navigate the college process. Mission to Admission will help students fill out applications, develop their college list, write and edit their college essays. They'll even guide students with athletic recruiting and support with conservatories. Most importantly, they can help guide students with gaining scholarships and give students and families the confidence to move forward. With over 25 years of experience, Mission to Admission will get you real results, but with a very personal trust. So believe me, if you're terrified of the whole college experience, contact Mission to Admission.
You know what? That brings back a moment where obviously, your mom has been a special person in my life. She was our motivator for my mom to get us to school. And, those things that we always worry about in college is, the fears, the factors that we don't know. Your mom was the one that made me feel comfortable to head out there and become who I am. So happy Thanksgiving to our moms.
Absolutely.
You guys are amazing, and this is why we're here today.
We're going to update a couple scores here after this 3rd and short for the Colonels. First play of the second quarter, direct snap to Favory, and he's going to be right at the sticks, and I think he's going to have enough for the first down based on where the official is standing. If not, it's going to be 4th and a link, and this is usually where they move the chains, and in fact they will. Peter, you said you have a couple scores for us.
Griswold's up 7-6.
Whoa!
Griswold 7-6 in the first over Valley.
No score in Waterford.
No score in Waterford. And Naugatuck 7-6 over Ansonia right now.
That's a good one.
It looks like Griswold gets in with a win.
Yep.
But if Ansonia loses and Griswold wins, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
They're in for sure. So another team looking at the scoreboard is...
Imagine that division has two of the top guys actually at 7 and 8. That's scary.
Yes. First down, inside trap, Cassavant. Cassavant's in the 40. Cassavant crosses the 30. Cassavant crosses the 10.
Ball slip!
Ball's loose. Porter Carter. Whoa! Reminiscent of Leon Lett back in the day.
Heck yeah! What a play!
Carter catches Cal Cassavant inside the 10, and what was assuredly a Ledyard touchdown becomes a fumble recovery for the Falcons, and what a play by never stopping. Let's take a look at Carter catching Cassavant.
As he breaks the off tackle and he's going down the straightaway, look at this young man come on the outside, and what we want to do is grab and rip. Great technique. He got the back end with cloth and punched through. Now Cassavant had to tuck it. He had to tuck it tight, brother.
Give credit to Anthony Spader.
Yeah.
He was running the whole way as well. He didn't get there for the strip, but he got there for the fumble recovery because two players never gave up on the play. That is a beautiful play from the Falcon defense, and we have a timeout, and we're going to take a quick break as well. 8-8 and lots of great. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Injuries can happen anywhere, on the road, at work, and where you least expect it. When an injury knocks you down, the legal team at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates is here to pick you up. Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates has been voted best law firm 6 years running by readers of the day because their personal injury attorneys fight for your fair compensation so you can focus on recovery. After life's hardest hits, let their team of attorneys carry the ball for you. Contact Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates in New London and East Greenwich, 860-MMB-team and mmbteam.com. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
Fitch will have it 1st and 10 with the ball marked inside the 10, almost to the goal line, to the 3. And they go wide. That play never quite developed. They'll get a gain of a yard or 2, but on the far side, that was a risky play there. Dangerous territory. While we were at break, Waterford jumped on top of East Lyme. So the Lancers win it in, and they are on top.
That's right.
Killingly 28-0 in the first quarter of their game.
It's a very critical situation right here. You know, when you have a fullback and you're running the option, you want to be under the center. And this one, he's running shotgun, so I'm a little concerned.
So clock running on 2nd and 9. Ball is at the 4-yard line of the Falcons. We saw the Falcons score on a big first down play and then nothing since. Timeout on the field, and we'll take another quick timeout. 8-8, you're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
If you live in Eastern Connecticut, you belong at Norwich Free Academy. From college prep and career pipelines to arts, athletics, and tech programs, NFA offers more opportunities than any other high school in the region. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Engage your future at NFA. Visit nfaschool.org.
And in another interesting score, the New London Whalers with a 6-0 lead over NFA. So
Our Whalers?
Right now it is Waterford with an early score against East Lyme, New London with an early score against NFA, and here we are 8-8 in.
Yeah, we can't get rid of Thanksgiving. Things like this are so phenomenally energetic, man. Unbelievable.
The weird things that happen on Thanksgiving.
All for turkey leg.
2nd down, Carter tries to bounce it outside, not much there, gains 2 more, but it's going to be 3rd and long for the Falcons.
Great job by the defense right there. Now, I think that he has enough space right now to throw the ball, and that would be a threat right now, so we'll see what happens with his 3rd and long.
So if Griswold wins, it looks like they have a chance to get in. Ansonia's losing. Fitch would get in.
Yep.
Ledyard, we kind of thought NFA's got to win and in to get in.
Yep.
This is why this is such a wild day.
Yeah.
Inside handoff to Bussey, and a big first down to the 20-yard line goes Sean Bussey. That was all the misdirection right there.
Yep.
Even though it was the simplicity of the fullback dive, all of that motion from the wings is what freed Bussey up.
The two systems are kind of similar in the sense that the misdirection can create a lot of havoc. Backers, defensive ends have to make sure they read their keys and stay with them so that they can make those plays.
An important first down for Fitch just to get out of their own end zone area. Now at the 20-yard line, a little bit of breathing room for Carter and crew. Motion is McBride. Now he settles back down. Now he goes again. High snap. It goes into the hands of McBride. And even though it's going to be a 1-yard loss, it could have been disastrous. That ball hit Carter in the hands, popped up in the air, and McBride just said, I'll just take it. Now it turns out to be a loss of a yard. But I mean, if I had $1 for every time that turns into a fumble, I'd have a lot of dollars.
I thought I was watching volleyball, brother. Like he was going to set the serve up or something.
That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a set, like McBride was going to come in for the spike.
tell you, they are hitting out there. These guys are really making some football hit sounds. Some guys coming in the sideline and kind of getting themselves together. This is the kind of weather you're going to see like pinched nerves and kind of like little aches and pains, but you got to get strong and get back in there.
2nd and 11. Motion across. Handoff wide. Spader tries to get to the sideline. Has to avoid 5 different kernels. Crosses the 25 to the 26, so it'll bring up 3rd and short. Nice job by Spader to get to the edge. Ledyard had 4 guys getting there, but once he got to the edge, he had a nice game.
Yeah, spreading the field and making it work is going to be the thing too. Just both offenses are dynamic, but they're so powerful in what they can do when they attack. Fitch has always been good attacking the outside, and right now they're taking advantage of it. This is a good drive to be starting at the 2-yard line. You know, coaching philosophy is to just make sure we can get a safe punt, and getting in a situation like this now, we're just trying to work on getting to the 50-yard line. You get there, things can happen.
They are more than happy on 3rd and 5. They are more than happy to stay on a 2-down territory. Carter keeps it himself. Woo. With the push, looks like he might get to the 32, or check that to the 28, 2 yards short of the 30-yard line, which is where they got to get. So 4th and a yard.
3 on the play, it'll bring up 4th and 1.
4th and 1, and of course, we are still in the 2nd quarter, but when we get to halftime, it'll be our special Thanksgiving edition of 3 pounds of pasta.
And I haven't eaten all night. I'm still full of the 80s.
Off of Tuesdays, 3 pounds of pasta, which might have been one of my favorites of all time.
Awesome.
I've never laughed as hard as when you absolutely nailed that. That's like
my brother said it best. He said when you laughed and the vein in your forehead popped up, it was legit.
100%.
Yeah.
4th down. Out wide to Spader. Needs a block. Gets it. Turns it up. Crosses the 30. 1st down, Falcons. As Anthony Spader knew exactly where he needed to go, got there, and the chains will move and the drive will continue.
Fitch is doing a great job, number 1, keeping that offense off the field, and number 2, gaining these first yardages with the clock continuing to wind. Now, we'll see if they're going to start here. I think they're marking it.
Going to mark it at the 34-yard line?
Yep. Chipping away right now are the Falcons.
You know, it's funny. We talked about there are no favorites on Thanksgiving. New London up 6-0 over NFA. Naugatuck up 7-6 over Ansonia. I mean, there are no favorites on Thanksgiving Day. Everybody in a rivalry game is in it. Carter, first throw of the game, has a man, and through the hands of Evan Spader, and I think it was tipped.
Should have cleaned his hands after he buttered the turkey.
I think the pass was just underthrown.
Yeah.
And a tip. I think it just got a fingertip on it and changed the ball a little bit. And Spader couldn't quite corral it. And you can see Ledyard's very wary of Cameron Lee Fry.
Yeah.
They let Spader go. And that's when, you know, you never know, always that unsung person, because the matchups dictate that's where you go. And that was almost a big play for the Falcons. Instead, 2nd and 10. Inside trap, handoff to Spader. He crosses the 40. That's Anthony Spader. And a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
What a physical run by Spader. He was right there in the backfield, and he made sure he punched that guy out the way to get downhill. You know, these all the running backs today, what I'm impressed with is the downhill finishes that they're doing. They're not waiting to stand up and get tackled. They're going down there and delivering the blow.
Let's go defense!
3rd down. Falcons will unquestionably go for it regardless of the result of this.
They got the big man Gavin playing tight end now, sliding in there.
Bussey gets the handoff, and there is nothing there. He reaches forward for maybe a yard, but it will bring up 4th and 3 for the Falcons. So they went with the dive, and like I said, that was one of those, we have 2 downs to get 5 yards.
Yeah, you know, at the same time, that exchange, you could see you could see our boy Rasheem wanted to pull that ball out and take off. It's very scary because you could actually cause a fumble there, but with Bussey holding that rock, he didn't let it go.
Westerly 14, Stonington 6, and
awesome.
The oldest Thanksgiving Day rivalry.
Woo. I was part of that too. Boy, talk about the food.
Soupy?
Soupy.
Timeout on the field. The Falcons before they have a big 4th and 2. So we're going to send it away briefly. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
In football, execution matters. And in legal matters, it's no different. Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates has been voted best law firm 6 years running by readers of the day because from personal injury to homeowner claims, their attorneys move their cases forward with the preparation and persistence it takes to win against the big insurance companies. When the game gets tough, you need a legal team that won't back down. Contact Messier, Massad, and Burdick and Associates in New London and East Greenwich, 860-MMB-TEAM and MMBteam.com. Why have one attorney when you can have a team?
We're back, 8-8, big 4th down play coming up. Shout out to the Burke family watching from up north. I always appreciate a little out-of-state love on Thanksgiving Day. Broadcast here, it's a big 4th down play. Porter Carter fakes it, rolls, throws, has Bussey. Bussey crosses the 50. Inside the 40 to the 35-yard line. Gutsy call on 4th and 3. The Falcons put it in the air and out of the backfield. Bussey leaked, and it'll be 1st down for Fitch.
We talked about it, how the offense runs through that fullback. At the same time, in the passing play, if the linebacker's not disciplined and he slides to the outside and you don't have him, he's wide open.
Falcons get up to the line, catch Ledyard, shuffling personnel, and I believe that's going to cause Ledyard to call a timeout. So I'm going to have, we're going to keep it here during this timeout. I'm going to have Peter grab a couple of scores while we have this timeout, and we'll see what we can update the folks at home with on this beautiful Thanksgiving Day. Peter, any new scores or updated scores from around the area? Westerly 16-6 over Stonington.
Updated score is 16-6. Westerly lead over Stonington.
Killingly 35-6 over Woodstock Academy.
Killingly up 35-6 over Woodstock today.
Waterford 7-0 over East Lyme.
Woo.
And Waterford currently with a 7-0 lead over East Lyme.
1st and 10 here for the Falcons from the 35-yard line. Motion across is Spader. Bussey with the fullback dive, and that's the best one they've had today. That gets 5 easy yards on 1st down. 2nd and 5 as the Falcons take it with under 4 minutes remaining here in the half of an 8-8 game.
I'll tell you right now, the way he's running, give it to the bus. Keep on making him run the rock and let those linebackers sink in to set up the pass play. I think right now this is what Coach Ellis is talking about, setting up the plays, and he's got the main guy doing it. I sense a Casey Damas coming right now.
I'm ready to call it out. 2nd down. Handoff goes to Bussey again. Bussey, 1st down. Look at the physicality of Sean Bussey down to the 20-yard line.
Woo!
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
He makes the spirit of Larry Zonka and all those fullbacks in the day proud. Man, what a step up for a young man to come in there to help his teammate and adjust in the position and being a physical running back. Wow.
Hurry up by the Falcons. Carter's going to throw. Has Lee Fry open instead.
Oh.
He went on top to Spader, and he's going to get a flag inside the 5 on Grimm. And that will be a penalty that will get them into the 1st and goal after they move it forward 15 yards.
That was one of the things that we were talking about with the defensive backs. They're not playing technique in a situation like that. He had to have his hands on his hip and continue to run with him, but he felt like he was going to catch it, so he started to tackle. And that was a penalty right now that's going to make them, the Falcons, actually take advantage right now in the red zone.
He had Lee Fry, and that's who I thought he was going to. He opted for Spader, and as it turns out, a good call because Spader also had a step and got the penalty. So after they mark it off, the ball will be marked right on the 10-yard line, so it will become 1st and goal from the 10. Carter, Bussey, Up the middle. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the misdirection to Mark McBride. And McBride is in the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Boom.
Misdirection not only fooled Ledyard, it fooled everyone but you, because you know what you're looking for.
That's right.
And that's a great Wolf Lodge touchdown.
I'll tell you, Casey had a slight little lazy eye because he was watching the play, and he thought, again, we thought we were going to get to Bussy, and then that little counter, that little sweep play right there, wide open in the end zone. Casey, what action's going on tonight? It's a low-scoring game, but a lot of action.
Absolutely. Falcons going for 2. Carter going to throw into the end zone. Has Spader. Got it.
Got the deuce.
16-8. Falcons go on top on the Carter to Spader pass for the 2-point conversion. But you tell us when we watch this what we're seeing with the linemen.
Linemen right now playing a play action. Looks like they went downfield and they really blocked and sealed that right side. So that kind of setup made the lane come backside. You know, great job by the line just going after the ball there.
Now, let's be clear that the play of the game right now is Porter Carter chasing down Cal Cassavant and stripping him of the ball, because what could have been a touchdown for Ledyard turned into a 97-yard drive.
Remember that?
For the Falcons.
That's right.
To get the go-ahead touchdown.
And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. A lot of close calls right there.
3 fourth down conversions on that drive. But think about that. Ledyard's going in for the go-ahead touchdown, and Carter not only stops it, but then leads them on a 97-yard drive the other way.
And
that's the defining moment.
That Ledyard only had 1 series play in this quarter, am I correct? I'm just thinking there was no 2 series here, so that's one of the things that Fitch had to do, keep them off the ball.
Now Ledyard will have it with 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the half. Jimenez will kick it off. They've been avoiding going at Favory. This time they do it again, but Favory gets it on the bounce at the 10-yard line. Stutter steps, breaks 1 tackle, and gets it to the 25. Pushes forward to almost the 30-yard line. So physical run from Jackson Favory, but give Fitch credit. Anytime you keep Favory in that kind of position, only to the 30, you've done a nice job. So the Falcons with a touchdown lead, Ledyard with 70 yards to go, and 2:57 in the half. That kickoff, of course, brought to you, as always, by NFA. It'll be interesting to see if Ledyard puts it in the air at all.
Looks like there's a little unbalanced formation right here as the lineman bumped over. Things like that, if the coaches don't see it and adjust to it, could be a problem.
Favory gets it on the trap, breaks it to the outside, and has 7 yards on first down. That's the formation we saw dominate earlier in the year, and, and they couldn't figure it out. Every time Ledyard would go unbalanced, they just dominated. Waterford, if you remember, Waterford could not figure out the balance.
No, you have to watch that on film and really grade it down, so definitely it's a...
2nd and 2. Favory again gets to the outside for a first down. Nice pursuit by Bussy. Pushes him out of bounds, but not until Favory will have the chains move and a first down. Colonels as the drive continues with 2:17 remaining in the half.
Yeah, both teams have done a great job using their base plays. And in this situation, you know, like the old man Bunico used to say, if it works, keep on running it till they can't run it no more.
Favory inside trapped. Cassavant looks to throw, has a man. It's Green. Green with a little bit of a cut to the 40-yard line.
I got to clean my glasses.
Now that's the play I've been waiting for. I knew as soon as Cassavant, and I said Dorian Green only touches it a couple times a game, but when he does, it's a big play. Ledyard now into Fitch territory at the 40-yard line as the clock runs with 2 minutes remaining here in the half.
I got to clean my glasses, Casey. I think I saw a pass. Couldn't believe it.
That is now a Ledyard completed pass.
Woo.
One more. Favory cuts it back inside for a gain of about 7. Clock runs with 1:43, and we're going to get a whistle and a timeout for the Colonels. We'll keep it here. Shout out to my family home watching this one, and we are a minute 40 from cutting into a healthy-ish version of the pecan pie with pecans, brown sugar, molasses, agave nectar, and egg whites.
So I could skip the sliver and go for the slice.
Yes, you can get the full. That's right. You can get the full slice.
That's right.
Special thanks, of course, to Bill Glennie and the Press Box crew for the donuts and muffins.
Oh man!
So just to be clear, if you're in the Press Box today, you are going to come home with a mild case of diabetes. I mean, there's really no way around it.
You know what? And I'll tell you right now, nothing wrong. A couple of gallons of water, I'll be good to go.
And again, I am going to question my decision to have my blood work done on Monday.
You might have to, brother. You might say that you got a little cold. It's easy to get out of it down.
I think molasses might be what my blood comes out like on Monday. 2nd and 5 with the ball on the Falcon 35-yard line. 1:39 remaining here in the half. Fitch on top, 16-8 in what has been a very, very exciting first half. Grimm keeps it himself, and he runs into the heart of the Falcons line. Beautiful pursuit. Spader as well as Luke Berry. And not only was there no gain, he got cleaned up like a nice snow thrower.
I'm telling you.
Midwinter
right
from Hyde Park Landscape.
You can't hide that, brother. That was a great defensive front right there. But again, why run in the middle and try to keep the clock running? I'm a little concerned about that call.
3rd and 7. You got to think Ledyard, with the timeouts gone, they have 1 left. So they have 1 timeout and they're under a minute. This is a long down and distance. Will they stay disciplined here, or will they try to put it in the air again? They're going to run it with Grimm. Grimm's got Cassavant. Grimm's got outside. Grimm's got a first down. Grimm's inside the 25 to the 23. The clock will stop while they move the chains, and if Ledyard can hustle up on the football, they'll be in business here with 44 seconds remaining in the half.
For Fitch right now, keep everything in front of you and be disciplined. Because guess what? They can run all they want. If they can't get into the end zone, you got the lead.
30 seconds before they get it off. They got to have a little more urgency here on first down. Favory's going to keep it himself. Nothing there, and he's going to be kept in bounds. They're going to have to call their timeout with 20 seconds remaining.
Can't hide that. That defense right now. Oh, there's a flag up in the air.
Well, a flag will stop the clock with 15 seconds remaining in the half. This is a big flag.
Yeah. There's an old saying, it's a personal foul against Ledyard. Wow.
Personal foul against Ledyard, hitting at when they were out of bounds.
Yep.
And that's probably going to stall this thing out.
Personal foul on the Colonels.
I tell you, we used to always have a philosophy on defense. Gang tackling creates tension in the offense. And, in that situation there where they wrapped them up and got them out of bounds on their side, someone must have said something to create that penalty. Got to be disciplined. It's a timeout right now for the Colonels.
Timeout on the field. Ledyard, their final timeout.
So Ledyard takes its final timeout with 15 seconds remaining. We'll keep it here. Now you're going to be very proud. You're going to be very proud of this.
Okay.
The junior voice of game day, the Westfield State owl himself,
nephew, just
sent me a cheat code. Now, it's a cheat code for me.
Yeah.
It's something that you have talked about with me,
yeah.
Which is if you're at home, right? Cheat code 101. If you're at home and Ledyard's got the ball, just watch number 32.
Yep.
Because where 32 goes, 95% of the time, is the direction in which Ledyard is going to run the ball. 32 is Aiden Martinez-Garcia. He's not a back. He doesn't touch the ball.
Nope.
But he's the one calling where the plays are going for Ledyard.
Yeah, and that's part of the single wing. That main system, if you have that main guy, it's not like a quarterback. It's kind of like a sergeant on the field, that he makes those calls, and if he leads the way, yeah, those would be tendencies that we would see on film and try to find a way to attack it, and I think that's what Fitch is trying to do.
They're going to follow him. Now, the misdirection comes off of...
Good call, nephew.
So here it is, second down, 15 seconds remaining. Ledyard with no timeouts. That ball's on the turf, and a bad snap leads to a Grimm recovery, but that's going to get us to halftime. So we're going to stay here for a second and let you know that we are going to send it away at halftime. You get a chance to watch the features as well as coming back to everyone's favorite halftime show, 3 pounds of pasta. We are officially now at the Waterford Dental Health halftime show. So we're going to send it away, and when we come back, we'll have 3 pounds of pasta, final regular season chance for pasta to take Peter down. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
This Game Day Player Spotlight, powered by Joshua's Worldwide.
Aiden Martinez Garcia is our blocking back. The blocking back is the quarterback of our offense, the field general, the communicator, play caller, and so like if you talk to, single wing appreciators, they will tell you that the blocking back is the hardest position to find.
It requires me to be loud. It requires me to make sure everybody's on the same page, but it also requires somebody who's willing to hit. You have to be able to hit and hit hard and aggressive.
So when Aiden was young, he had liver cancer, and long story short, that impacted his hearing.
I don't remember anything. It's all been stories from my parents, a lot of time in the hospital. But it ended up with me having hearing loss from chemotherapy. So my whole life, I've grown up with hearing aids, and throughout preschool, elementary school, middle school, now to high school, I've had to navigate life with a hearing loss. So especially in elementary school, I had to have like special modifications to classes and stuff in order for me to be able to hear. But it hasn't changed my life in enough of a way where it's not what somebody would call not normal.
When the whistle blows, he can't really hear it, so we have to make sure that he has either a signal or a verbal cue. Sometimes other teams get upset because he's blocking through the whistle. He's just blocking and doesn't know the play's over yet,
There's been times where I hear the wrong thing, but I've always relied on my teammates. Like when we're on the field and we're going no huddle, sometimes I ask my teammate, hey, is this the play we're running? And I've always kind of leaned on my teammates to help me. It's not just for me, but it's for everybody too. It's kind of the family mentality you want to have in a football team.
To overcome that, and then he found football late, and so we didn't get to know Aiden until his sophomore year because he was a soccer guy previously. All things considered, that would be enough for a lot of kids to kind of just pack it in, but he's taken the opposite tack. He's a kid that takes every day truly as though it could be his last, and he squeezes the juice out of every single day, every single practice, every single minute.
Since 1995, we've been revolutionizing transportation with our commitment to exceptional customer service. From sedans to 57-passenger motor coaches, our fleet of over 35 vehicles servicing diverse needs, including weddings, corporate events, group transportation, and much, much more. Our 24/7 availability, rigorous safety standards, and state-of-the-art technologies ensures a seamless experience. Join us on your next journey and experience the difference firsthand. At Joshua's Worldwide, we don't just provide a great ride, we deliver peace of mind.
This Game Day Player Spotlight, powered by Joshua's Worldwide.
Gavin was a starter last year at defensive end, and he did a good job there, but what we noticed is after each game, you take a look at his stats, and there wasn't a ton of plays being made in terms of tackles, assisted tackles, sacks. And so the thing that impressed me about him is that he really worked hard in the off season in the weight room. He got himself, bigger, put some weight on, much stronger than he was. And then that work really came through in the first 2 games here. Where all of a sudden the first game against AT, I think he had 7 tackles, so many of them for a loss, had a big sack in the game. And so I was impressed by that, and impressed by how that work in the offseason translated into a guy who is now making plays on the field for us defensively.
Honestly, I think it's just wanting to be there and enjoying what you're doing, as well as looking at the people around you and wanting to do it for them. Because if you have more of a reason, even if it's not for you, if you have a reason to do it and you really care about it, then that'll make it easier to go wake up at 6:30 in the morning and get out there and have to go bench 135 pounds for 5 reps or something like that. So I think it's, if you get more involved and hang out with people and enjoy the people, you'll enjoy it more, to get the motivation to wake up and end up doing that stuff.
And he works both days over the weekend, working all summer long. That's just what he does. I don't think has a lot of free time.
I work at a grocery store. It's McQuaid's. It's at Mystic. It could get pretty tiring doing everything, because working and then doing the football, you have to still wake up early to get to work, and then you have to do football on top of that. So I wake up and I'm tired, and then sometimes we have film on Saturday as well, so I have to wake up early, get to film, and then go straight to work. So yeah, it can be kind of a challenge, and then trying to get your homework done on top of that.
How do you stay motivated?
I actually just really enjoy the team and the people around me, and I have so much fun playing football. So it's honestly, it's like a gift to get to come out here and play every day. It's not like I need motivation to do this, really.
Since 1995, we've been revolutionizing transportation with our commitment to exceptional customer service. From sedans to 57-passenger motor coaches, our fleet of over 35 vehicles servicing diverse needs, including weddings, corporate events, group transportation, and much, much more. Our 24/7 availability, rigorous safety standards, and state-of-the-art technologies ensures a seamless experience. Join us on your next journey and experience the difference firsthand. At Joshua's Worldwide, we don't just provide a great ride, we deliver peace of mind.
It's time for Game Day's Grade 8 Best of the Fall Plays, that we missed. Coming in at number 8, St. Bernard Soccer's Christian Lopez. Connor McWilliams with the corner, Lopez with the header goal versus Griswold. At number 7, Fitch Soccer's Matthias Lopez Hernandez. All the way from the back line, Felipe Dantes ahead to Matthias Lopez Hernandez. And there's just plenty of room in front, but it's always tricky. How am I going to pop it over the top of the keeper? Goal for Lopez Hernandez. At number 6, Stonington Field Hockey's Hannah Lyon. The penalty corner, Abby Mayorga to Hannah Lyon, gets it back from Mel Verbridge, and there is the goal right there. At number 5, we're going to go to the East Lyme Seniors Football. It's CJ Santos and Lane Lacara, looking a little bit like Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Look at the vision and get up top there. Touchdown. East Lyme Seniors go all the way and win the Super Bowl. At number 4, is it me or does Harper Hedrick sound like the alternate name of a Marvel superhero? Well, looking like a superhero right here, stealing the ball in the midfield, gets it up the sidelines and puts it away. Well, speaking of Marvel superheroes and names, how about Desmond Powers? That's another Marvel superhero name. Powers, St. Bernard Soccer, boom, the Travella to score up high versus Montville. At number 2, Monroe Thomas puts superpowers into the soccer ball, curling it around on the corner kick for the goal. But at number 1, for a free week of training at Athletes of the Future, we go to Bacon Academy's Mia Hegeman. One-on-one from the corner, impossible angle. Let's watch it unfold. Got to beat a defender, and you can't possibly score from there, can you? But you can if you get that left foot rocket. Hegeman with the number 1 play of the fall plays that we missed. And those are your Athletes of the Future grade 8 plays from the fall. Send us your plays. We still got more grade 8s coming up, folks, courtesy of AOF.
I'm Maddie. And I'm Alexa. And we're here at Paul's Pasta Shop in Groton. It's halftime at the game, and it's time for
3 pounds of pasta. Come see us after the game to refuel with one of our signature dishes.
Well, we are back at halftime. It is time for America's favorite halftime show, 3 pounds of pasta. Before anything else, thank you for an outstanding, healthy-ish pecan pie.
It's my 3rd plate.
It is really, really good, and we're really, really happy. So the energy level is going to go up because even though it's low sugar, we're still going to be bouncing around. So Thanksgiving is all about family, so we're going to go Family Feud style,
Oh,
Peter versus Pasta.
Where's the buzzer?
Is the buzzer. All right, is the buzzer. Top 5 answers are on the board.
Do we have to say did?
Yes, you can have to say did.
All right, here we go.
And you get if you get one wrong, it goes to the other person, and it's going to be 3 strikes total.
Oh, okay.
Between the two of you.
Well, this is
all
a
right?
good one here.
First one. Top 5 answers are on the board. What are the top 5 most listed Thanksgiving Day foods?
Buzz.
Peter.
Turkey.
Survey says ding, 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 ding. Number 1 is turkey. Peter, you have control.
I'm going to play.
Yes.
Stuffing.
Survey, show me the stuffing. Ding, 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 ding. Number 2.
Mashed potatoes.
Let me see some white stuff with the lumps. Ding, 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 ding. Number 3. That leaves 2.
All right. This is where it gets tough. We're going to go green beans.
Show me something I'll never eat. Green bean casserole. Ding, 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 ding. At number 5, that leaves 1 thing. So to be clear, you've got the turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, and the green bean casserole. Now, I will accept one of 2 answers that was tied for the number 4 spot.
All right. We're going to go with a pie for the clean sweep.
You gotta be more specific.
We're gonna go apple pie.
Can I see apple pie?
I knew that one.
All right, Pasta, it's over to you.
I'm going to go with what my mom bought, 7 cans of cranberries.
Show me cranberry sauce. Back to Peter.
All right. I got to go with the pecan pie.
Show me the delicious, my favorite, pecan pie.
I got it.
Tied were sweet potatoes.
Yeah, sweet potato pie.
And mac and cheese.
Ooh, the Mac attack.
Pumpkin pie comes in at number 6.
What?
But Peter with definitive control of that one. So we're going to go put the top 5 answers on the board again. What are the top 5 listed Thanksgiving Day activities? Peter.
We're going to go watching football.
Show me taking a nap on the couch. Ding, 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 ding. Watching football. Number 2, you have control.
Does he get a chance to steal for the number 1, though?
He does. You have a chance to steal it for number 1. Give me your answer. That's correct. Peter knows the feud.
I watch a lot of feud.
You know the feud.
What is eating?
What is enjoying a big meal that we can't process for days? Ding, 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 ding. Number 1, Pasta. You can keep it here. There are 3 answers left.
I live up to my name on that one. Okay, okay, so there's eating. I'm going to say sleeping.
The aforementioned taking of a nap, because no one wants to admit to it. That is incorrect. Peter.
Fighting with your relatives over politics.
Ooh.
Show me hanging out with the family playing games. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, playing games with your family. Yes, that leaves 2 left.
Was generous.
Is politics a game?
It is in my household.
Yes, it is.
All right, we're gonna go out in the backyard and throw the football around.
Show me pull a hamstring. And Pasta, back to you. One last chance. There are 2 answers left on the board.
Watching Thanksgiving shows.
Watching Thanksgiving shows. You know what I'm going to tell you right now? The Macy's Day Parade is listed with watching football as the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm going to, even though I don't think it was watching football / parade. So I'm going to give you another chance.
All right. I'm going to go with wow. I would say, I'll be honest with you. I think it would probably be like dancing and music, trying to work that food out.
Show me white man shuffle. That is incorrect. You're missing the 2 big ones.
Wow.
It's right in the title of the holiday.
Being thankful?
Going around and giving thanks.
Yep.
Is one of the most popular activities on Thanksgiving. Yep. And number 5, giving back in the community. Community service activities. Number 5. Number 6.
What was it?
Turkey trots.
Turkey trots.
Which is not, by the way, what happens after you eat a poorly made turkey. It is actually a 5K.
Is having the flu in the top 10? Because that was my Thanksgiving tradition like 5 years in a row.
Every year you got sick? All right, so those are your first 2 pounds of pasta. Here is your 3rd pound of pasta. There is no correct answer for this one.
I got to run it.
Each of you, what is the one food that you eat at Thanksgiving that you love that you don't eat the rest of the year?
Gravy.
Gravy. Gravy's a one-time. You don't have gravy on anything. You don't have a nice meatloaf with
Salisbury
gravy the
steak,
rest
bro.
of the year. Or?
You Salisbury steak
With gravy. You don't have gravy the rest of the year?
I think of everything.
I got the number 1 in my head right now.
I don't think I'm gonna have gravy on anything besides turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes.
And that's a one-time thing for you?
I mean, of everything else, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I would say I will occasionally go down to Neon Chicken, get the Thanksgiving sandwich.
Yeah, the
Neon
gobbler.
Chicken
We call it the gobbler up by
Neon
us.
Chicken's no joke. I got to give them some
What
love
about
right
you, Pasta? What is the one thing you eat on Thanksgiving that you don't eat the rest of the year?
Stove-top stuffing.
Yeah, the stuffing.
Just can't deal with it.
I thought about it. I love stuffing, but I don't think I eat stuffing the rest of the year. But for me, it's called the cranberry jello hello.
Oh, wow.
It was my mother-in-law's recipe. It's a tradition that's carried on now. It is a cranberry mold with cream cheese, and I mean, it is delicious.
Ooh.
I wouldn't eat it the rest of the year. So.
Honorable mention.
The pecan.
This pecan pie is a once-a-year thing for me.
And that started off in year 1 when I started working with these guys, because that first one they were like, "That'll be the last time we get pecan pie for you, bro."
So as the part 2 of the last pound of pasta, if I said to you today you could only have one food that you have at Thanksgiving every year for Thanksgiving, the rest of the year, the rest of your life, you could only have this one thing on Thanksgiving, and you could never have it. You could never have any of the other things. You get to keep one thing every year from Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's
gravy.
a good one.
So you would just have a gravy boat right in front of you.
Like a, what do they call it, a fondue of gravy?
Just ladling out the gravy.
brother. Slat it on.
And,
I don't need a spoon.
and finding out what things gravy go well on.
Wow.
Moving forward after that. Gravy on your finger. All right, what's the one thing you would keep and have?
I think that, I went and played down south at Delaware State, and I think one of the things that I was admiring was how they take a turkey leg and do different variations. So I would love to do the turkey leg for the rest of my life if I had to pick one thing.
Deep fried turkey leg,
And it's always a lineman's dream that after every game that we see, they would be humble to grab a turkey leg. So that means great.
My aunt makes this sweet potato casserole with brown sugar, and it's got it's so good. I might choose that. It's like a dessert treat.
Yeah.
So, but those are your 3 pounds of pasta. Now that's the last one that we guarantee here in the regular season. An overwhelming. Let's give a round of applause to the overwhelming champion of 3 pounds of pasta, Mr. Peter Wappy.
Peter, I want to congratulate you. You were awesome. I saw the cue cards were reading that, the cheat codes that you had. You guys had the wink and everything like y'all playing cards. But I was told by a lot of people, they said they would love to see a great 8 of just the 3 pounds of pasta for the season. I don't know if that's going to ever happen. I told them, I said, listen, y'all go back and find it on YouTube. But a lot of them, it's like, that would be nice to put it all in. And to top it off with what happened the other day, Casey, that was a great moment right there.
The Prince might be the best one.
Welcome to Paul's Pasta Shop, 223 Thames Street in Groton, where every bite is a taste of tradition. From our homemade pasta to our sauces, we're passionate about bringing the freshest ingredients to your table, serving your favorite Italian dishes since 1988. Visit our website at www.paulspastashop.com. You can call in your orders at 860-445-5276. You can follow us on Instagram at Paul's Pasta.
Second half ready to get underway here. The NFA kickoff. We'll see Ledyard's Dorian Green kicking it to Fitch Falcons with a 16-8 lead here to start it. Ledyard goes with the pooch, and Cameron Lee Fry is Cameron on the spot for the Falcons, as that one was really meant to be somewhere in between an onside kick and a sort of that no man's land kick. If Fry doesn't handle it, it's anyone's ball. But Fry, beautiful job falling on it, and it will give Falcons great field position at their own 40-yard line. Big opening drive for the Ledyard defense as the Falcons are on top. Hand off to Bussey, and good job by the Colonels staying with it. Cassavant, Grimm coming off the pile. Dorian Green as well. Gain of 2 for Bussey. And what does Ledyard need to do here on this opening drive to keep the Falcons off the scoreboard?
Definite 3 and out, but play disciplined football. I mean, you don't want to make a mistake and try to risk it and get them to score real quick, because this team is very powerful to score. The same thing, tackling. Make sure that you can get Fitch to make mistakes and get penalties, which they haven't as much.
2nd and 7.5 for the Falcons. Motion is McBride. Carter tosses to McBride off the left edge, trying to get to the outside, and beautiful pursuit from Ledyard. Dorian Green flowing outside, knocks him down after a gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6, and a big 3rd down coming up here for the Ledyard defense as they want to get it back in the hands of their offense. And the offense for Ledyard, after an initial score, has been stymied ever since Porter Carter chased down Cal Cassavant.
Oh my God, what a change right there.
On what is the play of the game. New Canaan 18-0 over Darien, holding on to that #1 spot in the state. Killingly will remain #2 if that score holds on. Carter to throw. In the flat, wide open. Spader to the 40-yard line, 1st down. And how do you let anybody get that wide open?
Well, that's basically the defense. They were playing cover 4, okay, which is the 4 defensive backs across, try to keep it in front. Now, there was a misread between the safety and the corner that we would always teach to read the opposite receiver. So the under flat route is always going to be open in that cover 4 coverage.
So your top 3 teams in the state right now, New Canaan up 18-0. Killingly was up 35-6 last time we checked. It is now 61-6 as they will set the Connecticut scoring record.
Amen.
And #3, Hand, beat 8-1 Guilford last night. Easy. Dive goes to Bussey. Not much there, maybe 2 on 1st down. But the Falcons right now content driving the football with little bits of yards at a time.
Yeah, they're chipping away. Again, this is what they did with that long drive. Try to make sure they make safe plays, and starting it with that fullback drive, I'm telling you, it's going to be tough if you can't stop that.
Some first half notes. Penalty yards, 45 for Ledyard, only 5 for Fitch. Fitch, 1 penalty in the last 6 quarters.
Great job.
A penalty-free half, is something that they are big on. Spader and Favory were the leading rushers at 94 yards apiece. Motion man is McBride. Carter fakes it to him, instead throws short. He has his man, Bussey. Bussey crosses the 25-yard line. The chains will move. And that play has been open. The Falcons using that fullback out of the backfield for a 1st down.
Classic. And what makes Bussey even better is that when he's out there as a receiver, he runs hard. I mean, it's going to be tough on open field. So when you got guys in the box that can help you tackle, when he's out there, you got to make sure that linebacker's reminding himself to be disciplined and read that fullback coming through.
Now, maybe it's just a game day thing, but I feel like Fitch huddles up the week before. Hey, guys, we're going to be on game day. Let's come up with 2 new players that can have really big games this time. Because every game we've done them, it's been somebody different.
Yeah, and we've always had to make a decision very end of the game because of the effort that they put in.
Dive to Bussey, big hole. Breaks a tackle, heads inside the 10, inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Falcons as the bus rumbles down into deep Ledyard territory, knocking on the door.
Well, the next thing the bus has to do is just knock into the end zone. The way he is playing right now, taking this team, it's really difficult how Ledyard right now trying to find a way to stop him with this defense.
3-yard line is where they will mark him down. 1st and goal from the 3, and the Falcons looking to go up 2 scores. Now, keep in mind, the Falcons need a win. They could go up as high as #5 in the standings, and a win guarantees them a postseason berth. 1st and goal here. Carter's going to keep it himself. Cuts it off tackle and gets into the end zone. Got Carter. Got a Great Wolf Lodge touchdown. Falcons now on top. 2 scores. It's 22-8 with the extra point / 2-point conversion upcoming.
This is a great opportunity for Fitch right now to come in the second half and get a 2-score lead and feeling comfortable that what they're doing on offense is productive.
Now, we'll talk about what a loss, even though we're still a long way away from that, but we'll talk about what a loss does for Ledyard versus a win, and it might be one of the rare times where a loss actually benefits Ledyard as opposed to a win. We'll talk about that in a moment. 2-point conversion coming up. Falcons, Carter, a little trickery. Cameron Lee Fry ends up going around the left end. I think 3 different people touch the football, but the end result, 2-point conversion for the Falcons.
24-8, Fitch.
Bussy run. So nice job by Cameron Lee Fry on a little chicanery.
This all started with Bussy's attitude in the game. I mean, the way he ran, here's a good example of what we're talking about. When he gets that ball and he's running, he's looking for air right now because there was nobody there. Otherwise, he'd physically run downfield. And again, the way he finishes, that's a good example of securing the ball at the end of a tackle.
Now, if Ledyard loses this game, they are probably only going to drop to the 6th spot, which would put them in line to play Nanawag. What's interesting, if Waterford holds on, the ECC will have 3 teams in Class SS. Killingly would be 1, Waterford would be 8, and Ledyard would likely land at the 6th spot. Now, the 2 seed is Daniel Hand. Some people think the best team in the state outside of New Canaan. Killingly would be 1, Daniel Hand would be 2. The 3 team will skip over. The 4 team would be Jonathan Law. The only loss Jonathan Law has this year is to Killingly. And Ledyard right now at the 5 would be looking at going to Law. If they lose and drop to the 6, they would go to Nanawag. And even though Nanawag is undefeated and a very good team, a lot of people, as the kickoff here from Jimenez, straight down the right hash, heading out of bounds, and it'll be a penalty, and Ledyard will have good field position. The only thing about Nanawag, it's not that Nanawag isn't an excellent team. They're undefeated, very reputable, and they've smacked a couple of ECC teams, Montville and Bacon Academy. The thing is that you look at Hand, Killingly, Jonathan Law, Ellington, teams like this that have big-time state pedigrees. Nanawag doesn't have that, and so everybody, I think, agrees that that's the team you want to try to match up with.
Exactly.
I think Ledyard at Nanawag would be an exceptionally interesting first-round game.
What a stacked card for that division, huh?
There's a lot of good teams in that division. Killingly and Waterford could be a potential first-round game. Very, very interesting. Ledyard needs to answer on offense as they are now down 2 scores, 24-8. And ever since the opening drive where they went right down the field and scored, they have been stymied a little bit. Favory looking to get to the outside. Fitch has been doing a great job getting to the edge.
Well, that starts off with the big man, Gavin Blue. You know, what they did was, in the beginning, they let the edge players just play soft. What they're doing now is they're crashing them hard, collapsing that offense, and allowing the linebackers to flow a little bit quicker over the top. Something I think that's been a good adjustment for the Falcons.
Fitch has done better than anybody we've seen this year at getting to the edge and funneling Favory back inside. We saw him break that one tackle of McBride to score the touchdown. They are now sending multiples his way. I think Ledyard is going to have to look to do something, I don't want to say different, but something to get people off of Favory. Like maybe use Streckfus, which they do here, but the big guy Streckfus, nowhere to go.
And
Cameron Lee Fry.
Amazing adjustment. They knew that they had a run play coming there, so the backer just slid right on the outside, and he's unblocked. With the crash coming off the edge, they had players there. So this is what you want to do as a defense. It's kind of risky because you're looking at formations and then setting it up. Who knows? Maybe your son gave him some kind of halftime tidbit, but they have that backer coming up now, and that's stopping those outside plays.
Big 3rd and 9, 8.5 here for the Colonels.
Here he walks up.
Fitch walking him up. Direct snap. There goes Cassavan on the trap. Nothing there. Blue.
Blue. That's my boy, Blue.
He read it. You're my boy, Blue.
What a player. Today, the unsung hero is Gavin Blue, doing the hard work, the dirty work, but then also finishing up the play. A lot of heart in that young man.
Listen, if you don't like doing the dirty work, let Hyde Park Landscape do it for you. That was a Hyde Park cleanup.
That was smooth coming right there, Rick Casey. You're on fire.
4th and 10. Ledyard uncharacteristically going to punt. Diego Rosario, I'm going to say it for you. Diego Rosario Gonzalez.
Oh, my mother would be so proud of you.
I want to make it. I love making your mom proud. Good snap. Kick is line drive taken by McBride. Actually let it bounce. and it was going to roll to the 20-yard line.
Great
So good
punt.
field position here for Fitch to take over at the 20. Ledyard did a nice job turning over the field. 6:14 remaining. Probably the most important defensive possession for the Colonels of the year as far as winning this football game. They're down 2 scores, and the Falcons, if they can put another one on the board, probably would put themselves in position to win this thing.
You know, the toughest thing about the Falcons offense, which is true, it can run balanced formations in different kind of sets. You have to run a balanced defense. So where do you blitz unless you find a tendency? That's going to be a difficult thing. They're going to have to slant, they're going to have to move and penetrate to cause some problems for Fitch.
First down, Carter. Motion across, fakes the pitch, hands it on that little trap, the little counter for 2.
Mark McBride on the
McBride on the carry. They'll give him 3, 2nd and 7.
Gain of 4 on the play, second down.
Tell you, this place is packed with so many fans from both towns. I mean, this is what I love about football, when you can shut 2 towns down and come over and play a game, and these young men representing have a lot of work that they put in, shown, and it's very classy today. Love the effort and love the fan base today.
2nd and 7. Bussey on the handoff, and a nice job. Ledyard doing what it needs to do, holding him to a yard, maybe a yard and a half. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Falcons. Clock continuing to tick. It'll be about 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd by the time this one gets off.
To me right now, the biggest thing is let's bring pressure from the A-gaps on out. Send those backers and let them make sure that they keep that fullback, because if it's a pass play, then they can have that fullback held down and they can go after the quarterback, because he's had plenty of protection right now by the offensive line when it comes to a pass.
Nothing better than a big crowd on Thanksgiving Day. And I'm guessing the crowds are big all over the ECC, as well as Westerly, Stonington. Everyone here in the Northeast loves a good Thanksgiving Day football game. 3rd and 4 here. Carter going to keep it himself, cuts up the middle, has a first down and more, shows the wheels, and gets a chain-moving run, Porter Carter. Now, I say everybody here loves Thanksgiving Day football. There is one person at the day who shall remain nameless.
Nameless, my brother.
But he does rhyme with Spike Gagoro. And he has been and he has had me in his camp. Now, here's the deal. You can love Thanksgiving Day football and still think that it doesn't fit with the current playoff structure. And I am one of those people. I love this day, but I can't stand that they have to come back and play on Tuesday. I think that's borderline criminal that they have to come back and play on Tuesday. Hand off to Bussey. Bussey breaks a tackle and gets 3 on first down. Ball security and penalties are the only things that the Falcons are worried about right now, keeping it clean, and they have been remarkably good in this game. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Now, Casey, do you think that the factor that we have 8 teams qualifying for each division factor in that Tuesday? If it was to be dropped to say by 4, they would have that game on Saturday, and they'll still finish off at the ample time that we're expecting to finish. I mean, I think that's a big concern that could be brought up. But again, to have 8 teams, you never know. These are what make things beautiful. I just think, to me, that's a lot. Before we grew up where there was only one shot, one chance, undefeated, you might go in, and in some cases, it doesn't happen. So
that's right. 2nd and long. Carter going to keep it himself, and Streckfus got to him very quickly right at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. But at this pace right now, the Falcons are going to take this thing to the end of the quarter and just shrink the game more and more.
The biggest thing right now, and I can tell you could be the biggest factor of the game, is clock management. What a great job. Fitch has been holding the ball pretty much in every quarter, dominating the time frame. Wow, this place is shaking right now with the fans calling out and helping this Ledyard defense to try to make a big stop on 3rd down.
3rd down, Falcons.
Pressure coming from the edge.
Carter runs option. Nice tackle in the backfield. Bussey will get to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Falcons went a little outside option, which they haven't run yet. And nothing doing. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Ledyard defense with a chance to hold. Love the pursuit there from the Colonels to the outside.
It looks like now they're going to have the offense still in there.
45-yard line is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think if it was a 1-score game, they'd punt.
Yep.
But as a 2-score game, I think they'll try to play keep away.
No, the Falcon defense is doing a pretty good job stopping this offense. So
Look for Fitch to put it in the air here. Carter tosses instead. Spader's going to try to go wide. And the Ledyard defense is going to hold and give credit to Grimm flying to the football and caused Spader to have to cut it back inside. Ledyard will have it at the Fitch 47-yard line, so the Colonels' defense holds.
Definitely a great job. The angle of pursuit is a key there. Because it's an outside play, you got to stay down the line of scrimmage and make sure you keep your integrity. When he cut back inside, there was Grimm to make that play. Good job for the Colonels, and this may be a big turnaround. We've always thought second half, if Fitch makes a mistake, that Ledyard could capitalize. We'll see what happens here. Good field position for them right now.
Now, the story of the game, however, the Fitch defense, after giving up that opening drive touchdown, has been rock solid. Ever since Carter knocked the ball from Cassavant, they have stifled Ledyard. Can the Colonels figure out something here against this Falcon D? They're going to start with Favory, running around the right side. Favory cuts it back inside, and a nice gain of 8 yards on 1st down. That has been the best play for Ledyard in about a quarter and a half.
Definitely great blocking right there, and again, Fitch didn't have that edge coming up, so when they play off, you're going to get caught.
2nd and 1. If Ledyard ever was going to look for that pass over the top, this would be the down and distance. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the win factor right now has changed, as we can see the flag is pushing towards the scoreboard.
This would be where I would say if you're going to look for Dorian Green to leak out, Cassavant on the wing pass, this is where it normally happens, or you might just see them get the first and move on. They're going to roll Favory. Favory's got blocking, cuts it inside the blockers to the 30-yard line, moves the chains, 1st down to Ledyard. Clock will run with 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Great run, man. He has the feel of the game where you see a running back allowing his blockers to do his job, hand on their back and then scooting off the blocks. This is a good offensive series right now for the Colonels.
First down, Ledyard. Clock running, 10 seconds in the quarter. Man, they're not in any hurry. They may get one play off here, but they may not. We'll see. Last play of the quarter, they do. Favory will get about 3 yards, and we are at the end of the 3rd quarter, 24-8. Falcons on top, Ledyard driving. The road to college is scary for both the students and their loved ones. I know that it's a overwhelming process. So much to do. How do you even know if you're doing it right? Well, Mission to Admission College Consulting is a one-stop shop to alleviate all those fears and help your student navigate the college process. Mission to Admission will help students fill out applications, develop the college list, write and edit college essays, even guide students with athletic recruiting and support with conservatories. Most importantly, they're going to help you gain those scholarships and give you that confidence to move forward. 25 years, Mission to Admission has been helping people get real results with a personal trust. So just do a little search for Mission to Admission College Consultant, message them, give them a call, check their website out, and help your student feel better. NFA 7-6 at halftime over New London, and NFA needs that win to get in. In the 3rd quarter, Naugatuck 19 and Sonia 18.
Wow, close game right there, brother.
Still holding on. Naugy in that Thanksgiving Day game. That's a Griswold special right there. The Wolverines looking at that score. Griswold was on top earlier of Valley. We're going to try to get you a score on that. Waterford was up 7-0. We'll try to get you a score on that.
And the fans are rocking.
Still 7-0 Waterford in that one. Here we have 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line. Colonels trying to cut into this 2-score Fitch lead as we start the 4th quarter here with this play. Grimm bounces it outside, now cuts it back inside. Good tough run by Jackson Grimm.
I like what the Colonels did right there. They knew that that guy was coming up, walking up, and then instead of having a double to the inside, they just isolated the buys and then one-to-one matchup, and that gave the chance for him to get out the outside edge there. So seems like Ledyard right now has that covered when that back walks up.
Adjustments to adjustments to adjustments.
It's a great chess game on Thanksgiving Day, I tell you.
3rd and short. Favory will take it off the right side, cut it off his tackle. He'll have enough for the 1st down. Chains will move, drive will continue, and the push.
All right.
Gets Ledyard inside the 15-yard line. They're in the red zone. So, talking with Mike Siricchio, I said that one of the things I admire most about him is that, think about a pitcher in baseball. They're blowing their fastball by the hitters. No one can touch them.
Right.
And then they shake off because they want to throw a curveball. Like they want to do something fun or tricky. If the running game works, if it's boring, fine. But the running game, he stays disciplined. You see Favory here again. They're going to stay disciplined to this until it works. The key, he said, is knowing when the team has made enough of an adjustment that you have to make an adjustment. And so you mentioned Fitch made the adjustment early, started walking up those linebackers and getting the safety up tight, and they started playing a very aggressive edge set against Ledyard. Now Ledyard has started to run it back inside because that's where the space has been. And so it's going back and forth, adjustments versus adjustments.
You know, you could be a great defensive coordinator. Bill Parcells would be proud of you.
I'd be Jim Parcells.
You'd be Jim Parcells. I was gonna say Jim Kelly. I almost messed up there. It's the sugar. Wait, it's
there
sugar-free.
Is no sugar.
Ah, man, they got me on that one.
2nd and 9, inside trap, Cassavant.
Wow.
That ball was loose as it was being passed around, handoff to handoff. So it ends up being a short gain. It'll be 3rd and 7 for Ledyard.
Yeah, that was a crash off the edge, and the tackle, I think one of the players was impacted by that. We do have a player down right now.
We have an injured Falcon on the field, so we're going to take a quick step away. We're going to try to get some scores for when you come back. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
Every football fan knows no star player wins alone. It takes a full team to produce a win, and that's how the team of attorneys at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates handle their cases. Voted best law firm by the readers of the day 6 years running, the attorneys at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates work together, fighting insurance companies for you and your family. Insurance companies have teams of lawyers on their side, and you can too. With Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, when you need a winning legal team off the field, call Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates in New London and East Greenwich, 860-MMB.
3rd down and long. They fake it to Cassavant, keep it with Favory, and a great tackle by Spader right at the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and 6, and Ledyard has not been able to move the ball on the last 3 downs. Fitch again cutting everything off, and the Ledyard Colonels here with a 4th and 7 from the Falcon 10 are going to have to come up with something. 9 minutes and they're down 2 scores.
Big opportunity right now for the Colonels to get something here and make this game close. And when they do that, that's what makes this rivalry such a great thing. After that, it's a shootout. You want Colonels to be that close to the game like this, instead of a blowout, because they can use this system still.
What will Ledyard dial up on 4th down? Favory, high snap, and that play never had a chance.
Wow.
And a turnover on downs for the Fitch defense. And here's where I'm going to point out experience and understanding a game situation for the youngster Favory. You're taught, bad snap, fall on the football.
Fall on the football.
Except you got to know it's 4th down. What's the worst that's going to happen? I try to pick it up, they pick it up and go the other way. So be it. I'm down 2 scores. I got to try to scoop this thing and throw it. Maybe I get a penalty, maybe something happens, but
Yeah,
you're taught fall on the football, but in that situation, you can't fall on the football. So Fitch takes over. 2-score lead, 8:38 remaining, and they are going to try to milk this thing as much as possible. They give it to Spader on the end around from the wing, cuts inside of Grimm and Green, and ends up having a gain of 3. So last time we checked, it was 7-0 Waterford. Both Killingly and New London are at the half. The one score of interest that we can't get right now is Griswold and Valley. So if anyone out there is at that game and happens to be paying attention to us, feel free to chime in with a Valley score. The live stream at the game is down right now, so we cannot access that score. So anybody who knows the score of the Valley Griswold game, please by all means give us a shout in our stream and let us know what's what.
If you let us know, we still have pecan pie here. We'll give you a slice.
Sounds good to me. Carter gonna throw, wide open, has Spader. Spader crosses the 30. Spader crosses the 15, being chased. Touchdown, Evan Spader, the sophomore, had a chance earlier. That time Carter hit him in stride, and the Falcons can fly. They're up 30-8. A Great Wolf Lodge touchdown.
Coach Ellis had that in his pocket as he knew the play before where they threw it to the other receiver. He was wide open. He waited for the process to get done, and guess what? Heck of a play and heck of a call to keep this team right now blowing ahead right now with 30-8.
We hear the name Spader a lot on the Falcons offense, but it's usually senior Anthony Spader.
Yeah.
That time the sophomore Evan Spader. Earlier in the game, he had one go off his fingertips. That time he got it in stride for the big touchdown. The Falcons doing everything right, and they'll go for 2. Carter to throw. Throws it back. He was going to have, they were having some fun there. He was throwing that one back to the offensive lineman, and it goes out of bounds. No good. 13-6, Griswold. 13-6, Griswold in what is a very, very good football game.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, 13-6,
Mad
Griswold.
love.
But look at them, Spader in stride,
Man.
and then give the young man credit. The wheels.
Yeah. And I mean, definitely, we've known that Thanksgiving has special, situations, and we're looking for senior leadership. And here's a sophomore that came in, made a great catch, open catches, those very difficult. And man, wow, the Falcons are really rolling right now.
So here's the question that I have: what's happened to the Griswold offense? Last game against East Lyme, they get shut out essentially.
Yeah.
13 points today against Valley. What's going on with the Griswold offense? That'll be something that we're going to have to look into, because if
Such
they
a
win,
dynamic offense too.
if they win, they're going to get in the 8th seed. And Mike DeMauro said they were an upset special if they got in. And so, Mike, I just want you to put an APB out for the Griswold offense in case they do make the postseason. Here it's been the Falcon flurry. This kickoff by NFA. The Falcons clicking right now. We've seen in the last 2 games what they can do when they're penalty-free and mistake-free. This offense looks great. The defense playing well. And with a win today, they could get up as high as the 5th seed. They could be at Wilton. They could be at Windsor. They could be at Bunnell. We'll find out. Jimenez kick comes down to Velez, and Velez hit at the 25-yard line and brought down very quickly. Hit first by Luke Berry, and Ledyard with 7:33 remaining. At this point now, you got to wonder, you're going to start seeing some of the kids. Ledyard knows they're in.
Yep.
All they need is to maintain health for Tuesday.
Definitely.
7-3 as Finn Bruno with a field goal for East Lyme means that game is still hanging in the balance. And what I thought was going to be a 35-33 game.
Yeah, it's a low-scoring game, brother.
I was wrong.
I remember that time they had 2-7 or something like that? It was a low-scoring game.
A lot of low scores today. Favory, delayed step, and a first down run. Just what Ledyard needed, but I will be interested. Now, Ledyard knows they're in even with a loss. At what point, 30-8, do they maybe go and put some of the subs in, knowing that they got to turn around and play on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's a really good question and situation that I would say, yeah, how would you piece these people, especially the offense being such a dynamic offense, how do you piece these kids in and still try to maintain a drive? It's challenging.
And we're going to get, I think, offsides against Fitch. It's, you know,
I used to like it back then, Casey, where the coaches would call a timeout and talk quickly and say, I'm going to start putting my kids in, how about you? And there was this mutual respect that came across of, you know, situations like that where we could start putting in kids. But
well, I just think from a health perspective, you know, Ledyard knows that they're going to be playing again on Tuesday, and they're not going to win this game.
No.
It's, you know, under 7 minutes, they're down 30-8. Like, I'm wondering if we start to see an alternative, because the worst thing that could happen to them right now would be to get nicked up.
Yep.
Favory looks to throw, has his man Streckfus, first down into Ledyard territory.
And I'll do my favorite, Count Dracula, two passes.
So Ledyard covers the over on pass attempts and completions today.
Listen, if they get 2 more, I got 10 push-ups to do. So listen, Ledyard, just chill. All right, run it.
Now there's 5 touchdowns that have been scored, and I believe 5 completed passes as well. So
imagine that.
I mean, that's a great prop right there.
Thanksgiving stats are awesome.
First down, Colonel's right inside Fitch territory. Favory will have it again, breaks a tackle, cuts it, and that's Streckfus. Check it, and Streckfus. And that's what I was talking about. I think you're going to see Streckfus with some more carries here.
Yeah.
That's a 9-yard gain.
He's been very quiet.
Killingly, 67-6 over Woodstock Academy, answering the 41-3 hand over Guilford win.
And rocking the new names of Allard.
Penalty against the Falcons here. So. Now, what's interesting about that for Killingly is, if we're not mistaken, that will set the points per game record.
That was held by Ansonia,
for the state of Connecticut. That was held by Ansonia. So Killingly, I believe that's 5 straight games of over 60 points, and they will break the record. Now, whether or not they can get the total points record in a season is going to depend on how they do. They might have to put up 60 in their two playoff games too. Favory on first down, and the clock down to 5:45 and change.
Yeah, it's amazing how that, and if I'm not mistaken, Casey, the lowest scoring game was their first game of the season, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, against Hendricken.
Against Hendricken, who was a good team. Yeah. I mean, Coach Neal has done a great job with that program for, you know, a bit of a decade right now, and we always say that it's always churning new athletes, and that's the way the system's supposed to work.
Cassavant heads to the outside, got some space. Carter chases him down, and if there's been a nemesis for Cal Cassavant today, it's been Porter Carter. But that'll move the chains and give Ledyard a 1st and goal.
First down.
And they're starting to put some numbers in, Case. I think you're right there. As Cassavant's kind of like bobbling off. You got to be careful.
Well, again, it's a tough turnaround. 4 days, it's like a short week. You got to come back and play on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Keeper up the middle. Streckfus bounces off 1 tackle, heads to the end zone. Touchdown. Titus Streckfus into the end zone for the Colonels. And the Colonels answer with a Great Wolf Lodge touchdown. They will go for 2.
They're going to definitely have to go onside a couple of times to get a chance here. We'll see. Looks like he missed it.
Just shy, not going to get there. So 30 to 14 will remain your score.
14, Fitch 30.
So, if I'm not mistaken, if the results that we have right now hold up, 6 ECC teams will make the postseason.
We talked about, what, the 3?
We're going to replay the big pass here, showing that Ledyard can, in fact, complete it. You see Favory.
Like Frank Tarkington on the rollout.
So if the scores hold up right now, and Waterford holds on 7-3 right now over East Lyme, Killingly is in, and they will host Waterford. If Griswold holds on, they're up 13-6. And maybe even if they don't, they have to win, but if they hold on, they're going to get in.
Yep.
If NFA holds on over New London, they're up 7-6 at the half, they're in. Fitch is going to get in. Ledyard is in. So 6 teams from the ECC poised to make the postseason. An NFA kickoff here coming up for the Colonels.
Zaire Cedric on the recovery.
So the Falcons up 30-14. We'll see if they put in some of their, because they're in the same boat now. They've got to come turn around and play on Tuesday. See if they put in some changes as well. I would expect to see a couple of different names and numbers, or at least a different approach to where the running comes from.
Go defense!
4:46 remaining here on Thanksgiving in the battle for the Colonel Ledyard Sword. Waterford now 14-3, looking like they are going to cash in and get to the postseason, where they will have to go to the highest scoring team in the history of the state of Connecticut, Killingly High School. Spader, motion across the formation. Carter will keep it, and it's plays like that make me think it's time to put in a different person, though, because you got to do this again Tuesday.
It is a scary feeling, but again, sometimes coach's gut instinct would be that the adrenaline is good enough for them to play, and my thing is situations like this, and I know we've thought about it before. We will just stay with our base plays, nothing different. If they're going to watch film on us, they're going to get nothing in the second half, but the stuff that we normally would do. So yeah. It's very critical. You got to be careful with the players playing, but then the numbers. Who knows how to play those positions and who could step up in there in a game like this? I would love to see the youngsters step in to get that experience.
2nd and 5. Clock will be under 4 minutes as we approach this second down play. Spader across the formation gets the wing end around, and he'll get a yard, maybe 2, brought down by Streckfus. And we're going to get a timeout. Colonels with 3:45 remaining. We're going to send it away. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Injuries can happen anywhere, on the road, at work, and where you least expect it. When an injury knocks you down, the legal team at Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates is here to pick you up. Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates has been voted best law firm 6 years running by readers of The Day because their personal injury attorneys fight for your fair compensation so you can focus on recovery. After life's hardest hits, let their team of attorneys carry the ball for you. Contact Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates in New London and East Greenwich, 860-MMB-team and mmbteam.com. Why have one attorney? You can have a team.
We're back. Fitch with a 3rd and 4, ball at the 44-yard line of the Colonels as the clock ticks down. McBride breaks one tackle and dives towards the 40-yard line, and he'll be right at the sticks. I think they're going to have him a yard shy, or they're going to move the chains. Always difficult right when on that spot. Officials blowing the whistle. They're looking to see, and I think they're going to bring up 4th and 1. Timeout Ledyard. We'll keep it here for a moment, though. Last report we had, 19-6, Griswold on top of Valley as the Wolverines looking to punch their ticket into the postseason. Waterford on top, 14-3.
Casey, you remember when this would have been a measurement?
Yes.
Oh,
I miss those days.
I do not miss that at all.
So as someone who did the chains for a bunch of years, I will say that was my biggest fear. My biggest fear was the embarrassment of doing something wrong
on
a measurement in a crucial spot.
This is my moment.
Do you remember? I don't remember who it was, but one of the teams had let's call him a large human being doing the chains, and the poor guy had bad legs, and they tried to make him walk out to the middle of the field. It took 15 minutes for a measurement.
Yeah.
4th and a yard for the Falcons, trying to close this thing out on Thanksgiving Day. They pitch right to Spader. Spader tries to get outside of Cassavant, can't do it. Cool Cal Cassavant cleans up the play, and that's a Hyde Park cleanup. And Ledyard has a little bit of life. They'll take over on downs. It's 30-14. It's still a 2-score game. It's still technically in the realm of possibility.
Maybe that's why I don't have the young ones going in. A famous lady, who was Bobby Boucher's girlfriend, made a comment during the game that they would come back and win, and she guaranteed it, and that happened. Hopefully the Colonels right now have that sense of mindset where they can get the touchdown here and maybe go for the 2 points and only have an opportunity to, do it again.
First thing they need to do is move forward.
Yep.
Little trick play to Streckfus. Streckfus. Now that's one of those, it's not so much a trick play, but it's almost like a play action pass.
Yeah.
But it's a play action wing toss, and he keeps it himself, and he gets 9
I gotta say,
on first down.
That was a perfect pirouette. Is that what they call it in dancing? Pirouette, where he spun around like that?
It is a pirouette. Very nice. Yeah, well done.
Cuts it to the outside. Good dancing toes right there.
You all right?
Clock is running right now for the Colonels.
You're fine. Get over it.
There's a pass, Lord.
Streckfus throws it just over the outstretched arms of Cassavant. It falls incomplete.
One more, and I got to do push-ups for my brother. Come on now.
So that's one of those plays where, like you see in the NFL, where like the weird punt instead of going for it. Is someone on that team in on this bet that you guys have about number of passes?
I'm just saying, you're right. It's one of those things where, why did that play happen? Yeah, I think I talked with Coach Siricchio before the game. I told him the number, and I think he just wanted to show me that he could.
Little wink to you there?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was, I think look it up as special. Favory keeps it. He'll have a first down inside the 40-yard line. Let's not forget that last year, might have been 2 years ago, last year or 2 years ago, Stonington High School did run a Casey O'Neill audible.
Really?
They called out Casey O'Neill, and it was a play that they did on game day. It was a broken play that they got to a thing on a game day, and they turned it into an actual play and ran it. Cassavant puts the ball on the turf, but he falls on it at the 40-yard line. So I do think the coaches, like to have some fun once in a while as well. Two minutes and ticking here as Ledyard lines up on this 2nd and long. Favory going to keep it right on the backside of his blocker. He'll get 3 or 4. It'll bring up 3rd down. As always, at the end of the game, you're going to want to tune in to our social medias at Game Day CT for the Roberto's Log Cabin Player of the Game Day, the Waterford Dental Health Coaches Interview, the Science Sensational Play of the Game, all coming your way on this Thanksgiving Day on Game Day CT after the game.
Casey, imagine that one play that happened in the first quarter changed the dynamic of the whole game. Kind of remind me of that tight end from the Broncos. I mean, not Broncos, the Patriots, who made that tackle against the Broncos. Unbelievable.
Favory crosses the 35-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 7 for Ledyard in their last chance here. They need a touchdown. They need a 2-point conversion. They need an onside kick. They need a touchdown and another 2-point conversion.
The great thing, brother, is the clock is winding down, and it seems like both teams may have just bumps and bruises, but nobody's injured. So hopefully a quick recovery on Thanksgiving and get right back on track. I know the coaches will be working tonight.
Favory wants to throw. He does, and it's incomplete. Now,
wide open with breakfast.
Siricchio's definitely doing that for me.
I got to do 10 push-ups now for my brother. That's crazy.
With 30 seconds remaining in this one, this is our last guaranteed football game of the season. Whether or not we do a postseason game is still up in the air. It will depend on where the games are, our access, and other aspects and factors. So knowing that this is the only last guaranteed one, I do want to say thank you to all of the crew, Peter Wappy, Mike Tomorrow, you of course, Pasta, but for all of our crew who has come to games in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, in the wind, thank you very much. I am incredibly thankful for all of you, and the Falcons will go into victory formation and take a knee. So very, very thankful to the game day crew. Thank you to all of you at home who have been watching us and supporting us all year. We are very, very blessed. I want to give a thank you to Messier, Massad, Burdick and Associates, Phillies, Rich's Auto Body, Dairy Queen, Norwich Free Academy, Great Wolf Lodge, Hyde Park Landscape, Roberto's Log Cabin, Scient Federal Credit Union, Waterford Dental Health, all of those sponsors who have kept us going this year. We can't do any of this without all of you. So again, the Game Day people, the Game Day family want to say thank you to all of you for supporting all of what we do. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out if we got one more in us this year. For those of you tuning into social media after the game, we're going to have all of those interviews for you. And for the rest of your day on Thanksgiving, enjoy your friends, your family, your loved ones. Get a nap, get some food, get some football. For the coach, Pasta Sanabria, for Peter Wappy, Mike DeMoro, all of the Game Day crew, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Falcons 30, Colonels 14, the postseason on the horizon. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.